Hey guys, welcome to the video that I am probably the most excited to make, and that is about my van, RV, bus, I don't really know, RV, I guess is probably the most practical thing to call it. It is a 1979 or 80, we're not exactly sure. So my RV or van is a Trimini by Jayco. It is a Chevy, as you guys saw from the side. It's the classic 70s, pretty much coloring and everything, and the inside is questionable. I am the 12th owner, so you got to kind of keep that in mind, that other people have done what they want to this and I'm probably gonna undo all of it. So I guess I'll show you the inside. Alright, so lighting is actually terrible in here. I'm standing right by the window at the back because it's very dark, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this with it being so dark today. Right when you get inside, you have these little stairs. So right when you step in, you have these little steps, and we just go up the steps. And this flooring is brand new, so I'm probably going to keep it for a little bit and see how long it lasts. But right when you come inside the door, ignore my camera equipment, right when you come inside the door, you step up the steps, and this is immediately the kitchen. So this was the old kitchen. This is an old countertop that I'm going to rip out. I'm selling the generator, but the cabinets are very, very loose, so I'm probably going to rip those out. As you can see, they literally have like pieces of wood holding them up. Brand new sink. I'm thinking of putting a fridge here because that's originally where a fridge went with the vent. So I'm just going to probably find something that fits nicely in there. And there are two outlets. There's one here and one up here. So I can plug the fridge in there. The water tanks are going to go under here. The sink is going to be shifted to a little bit more like there. And this will just be cupboards. That will be redone cupboards. I think her name was Mary, who sold it to the boys, said, don't throw this out. So, Mary, I'm painting it, but I will put it somewhere else for you. This was originally the bathroom. Alright, so when you walk in, they originally had the bathroom here. I'm assuming that this was the door because it looks like there's pieces of wood on the ground to kind of map out where everything was. So I'm assuming this was the original door to it. Did come with a chemical toilet. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, because if I use a chemical toilet, then that means I have to empty a chemical toilet. Whereas if I just get a composting toilet or a bucket, as not so pretty that is, it's way easier to clean out and get rid of. So what I'm thinking is putting a wall straight from this part all the way up to the ceiling, and then leaving this part as the door, and the toilet will go right there. Then, depending on how much knee room, I might use this piece of wood as a guide and just build the wall back up, or I might actually shift it to kind of line up with that piping, and kind of hide that in a wall or around a wall or something. And then this random little spot is going to be floor to ceiling cupboards. So these are going to be where all my clothes are going to go. Because I work in Canada, we don't have the luxury of having California weather all year round, which means we need 4 seasons of clothes, and I work in agriculture, which means I'll need 4 seasons of ag clothes as well. So it kind of adds up, and it doesn't matter how many clothes I get rid of, I'll always need like work clothes, work boots, snowboarding stuff, like all the other gear that I'm gonna need. So I need a lot of storage for that. So I feel like this will definitely pretty much be enough. The next thing we're moving on to is the bed. I'm not a fan of this bed. I will show you how this bed sets up. Okay, so this is the original bed that came with it when I bought it. I'm not sure if this was the way it was the whole time, but this is very outdated, to say it nicely. So this piece goes down, this piece gets lifted over, and see it closes the cubby and comes down and sits, well, it's supposed to sit, it doesn't, it's a little tight. It's supposed to sit on the ledge of the bench seats that are right next to it. So this would ultimately lay flat, and this would be a double, or probably a little bit bigger than a double. I don't really like this, to be honest. As much as I always said if I got a different style of van, I would do a stationary bed because I don't like the whole slat bed. But in this kind of layout, I'll probably have to do a slat bed. So what I'm thinking is taking this off, taking this off, taking the entire top off, and I will create this. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the original outline of the box. I might, because these used to be drawers, and I don't really want drawers here, I think. I think I would rather, well, I don't know. I can't really say I'd rather just close them up and lift the bed every time I want to get something. But the stuff that's in the bed is going to be stuff that I won't use every single day. So it'll be like winter clothes, snowboarding gear, motocross gear, things like that that I'm not going to every single day will be under here, which I think personally is more than enough. So I'm taking this whole top off and I'm gonna create this into slats, and I will have it split down halfway. So I will have this half open up first and this half open up second. So if I decide to start at that end, I can pull this side out first and that side out second, slide the mattress down, and then I have my double bed. Or vice versa, if I'm at this side of the rig, then I can slide the front one out and then slide this one out, and I'm not like sitting there trying to do one whole piece. It'll be easier with two pieces. And then ideally I'd want them to lift up individually, so each half would lift up, and then I would be able to access the storage bins that are underneath. That's just kind of the idea that I have. Will this work out the way I want it to? It all depends on the size of this and the size of the mattress that I'm putting in here. And once I take this top part off, it'll make sense more if I need to just rip this out and redo it, or if I can somehow salvage the original frame and maybe just modify it to what I need it to be. So that's kind of still like up in the air. So the next thing that I want to do at this end of the rig is, this was the original headboard. So this actually went here, and this would allow for a fourth person to sit in the rig because there is a seatbelt. I'm not really sure if it's up to code anymore, but there was a seatbelt, so somebody else could sit here, somebody else could sit on the bench behind the passenger seat. So I'm not really sure if it works, but I don't really care to keep this one, to be honest. And I kind of need some privacy since I'm going to be doing this on my own, and I'm pretty much just going to have my dog. He's not really the best guard dog because he kind of just makes friends with everybody. But what I'm thinking is closing this off and having a full wall right here, as well as on this side. I'll show you in a second what I mean with this side because it's a little tighter. Since I'm short, I've pushed the seat way up that I have enough room to put whatever here. So what I'm thinking is putting a wall straight up. Motorcycles. Gotta wait. So what I'm thinking is putting a wall straight here from floor to ceiling and having a small pocket door that will slide in and out of this side, and this will just be the stationary wall on this side. So when I'm going to bed, I would just grab the pocket door, slide it across to the wall that connects here, and I would have full privacy from anybody from looking in or anything like that. And it kind of just closes off the rest of the rig, so because it's all windowed up here, it's gonna let out a lot of heat in the winter. And I need to try to contain it back here with my animals and try to stay as warm as possible. So I think blocking this off will be perfect in that sense, and like I said, just making sure weirdos don't look in, because apparently that's something that the guys before me had a problem with, and that's why they actually put curtains up, was people creeping in and looking and trying to see what it looks like on the inside. So don't really want that when I'm sleeping at night at a Walmart or something. That's weird, so I just want as much privacy as possible. So looking on this side, so this is the driver's side, and like I said, the wall will be here, the door will go behind the passenger seat as well. But right here, this is a bench. So this is the other seat. This is the third seat in the rig. Again, I'm not really sure if it's up to code, but there is a seatbelt here. So what I'm thinking is taking the back off of this, and I don't like this style at all. Like, I'll probably just take a Sawzall and like cut that and just make it flat or whatever. But what I'm thinking is taking the back off this and making it a complete floor to ceiling wall, and the wall will actually act as the back of the bench. So I don't have to have two pieces of wood, so it won't look like this. It'll just be completely flush, floor to ceiling, and then that will be the back of the bench. So this one I'm keeping. Right now it has the water tank and the electrical stuff. I'll show you right now. So this one has an old water tank and it has some of the electrical stuff, which I was told some of it doesn't work, but the little fuse panel does work, so that's cool. But I'm definitely taking that water tank out because I want my water underneath the sink, so it's easier to actually fill it up. And table is a little ghetto, to say the least. This is definitely getting a facelift. I'm probably gonna keep the original pole because the guys did such a good job of doing the floor around it, so there's no point in me ripping this out and then having to redo the floor because I was stupid and ripped the pole out and trying to place it somewhere else. So I'm gonna keep that where it is, but I definitely need a new table because this is like probably from the 70s. This other little bench has storage. So that's all there is right now. There's a battery in there. And the extra battery, I was told, works. I think I want to keep all of my electrical in one spot, so it'll all be under the front bench. So the inverter and the batteries and everything like that will be under there. It just makes more sense to keep it all in one spot. And then this one will just be storage. I haven't completely figured out if I want to keep the exact size of the bench because it's kind of big, it's really deep. The other thing would be I could take this out and have it down as a third bed, but I mean, I don't know how important that is to me, if I really need that or not. I guess I wouldn't really have 3 people sleeping in here anyways because I have a dog and this is already going to be a double. So I'll probably just have 2 people in here. I talked to my mom today, so we were talking about cutting it like about there to line up with the window and have this added, like an extra little cupboard that would slide out for like cans and dry food and stuff. So this would actually be like cut back quite a bit. I don't know how I'm gonna do this and fit in this shot. I can stand up, but I mean, nobody else can. So this is the kitchen of the original, well, not really the original, I guess. I don't really know what it looked like before, but this is what it is from the guys that I bought it from. So right here is actually the sink, which is very gross. Yeah, definitely got to get rid of this. I'm getting a new countertop, of course. I'm getting new cabinets because these are just, I don't trust it. I don't trust it lasting a long time, especially with these like little legs that's like basically holding it up. I would just rather do it so I don't have to worry about them flying off the wall. But what I'm thinking is having cupboards right here for drawers like cutlery and things like that. And underneath the sink, that'll be a little bit moved. I'll have my water tanks, like I said. So I'll have my fresh water probably at the back, my gray water at the front. There is a place to access it from the outside. So I might keep that as an option and just have a little tiny hose that I can connect to another hose if I have a hose. That's a lot of hoses in one sentence. But anyways, so what I'm thinking is having it so I can access it from the outside so I can fill it up instead of taking everything out. But that's kind of my idea for now. I'll keep like the style of the cupboards. I like the cupboards above because I really need spot for like dishes and things like that, but these really need to go. And then right here it kind of does a divvy, and I'm probably going to take this back about 2 inches because I feel like this is very tight coming up into the rig, so I need to crop it back a little bit. I don't need it being that long, but again, we'll see once everything's kind of ripped out and we have an idea of how much room and how big the sink and things like that. Then we'll do it that way, but right now it kind of comes out here, and this was where the original fridge was. So the fridge was underneath. There's a vent down there already that I just need to reseal and rescreen. So it's nice to have the vent down there, and then I don't have to worry about cutting any more holes. What else? So there is a fan already right there. The guy said that they put a new cap and all of this other new stuff on it. This is very outdated to me. At least I would really want to get a max air fan. I want it to be able to run on solar, and I want to have another one at the front, like right by, not even pointing straight, right there. I want to have one above the bed so I can have air circulating through. It is really hot in here. I don't know if you guys can see the sweat dripping down my face, but I need air circulation through here, especially during the day. It's just way too hot. And so I'm redoing this. It should be the same size or pretty dang close. And then, yeah, this one. This is a little fan, or a little vent actually. So this is super, super classic, and it actually still works. So this would be the one that's in the bathroom. So before I break it, let's just, there we go. So this would be the one that I would have in the bathroom. I would just keep this until it basically leaks and sucks, and then I can always put another one in there. It's not the end of the world, but I need something to ventilate the bathroom part. So I'm sure you've seen the ceiling. And no, it's not staying. As much as everybody loves the ceiling, it's definitely gotta go. They had some really, really nice fabric, carpet, I don't even know. Fabric, I'd say fabric, along the entire top of the rig. I actually cut it out for you guys because it was starting to bother me just flapping away. So I actually cut with scissors the whole strip that was on that side out because it was just ugly. No offense, Chris and friend, I don't remember his name, sorry. But it was bad, it was terrible. So this is just foam insulation. They put this in before they went on their trip across Canada this year of 2019. So I don't really like the foam insulation, especially because I'm going to be sleeping in it in the winter. And Canadian winters are not just 10 degrees, like they get to like -25. So I really, really need something that's going to keep me warm. And what I'm thinking is, some people that I watch from Toronto, some van life people, Eamon and Beck, I'm sure everybody knows who Eamon and Beck are, they actually did his dad's van with spray foam. So I want to rip everything out, including the cabinets, counters, probably keep the bench that I want to keep, the bed frame or whatever else I need to take out. And I want to strip it down, fix all the leaks, do all the wiring because it's kind of just hanging right here right now. These are working LED lights. They do run off the battery, but I want to set them up so that I can hook it up to solar. So I need to figure that out first, get all the wiring done, and then they have a video where they were doing the spray foam insulation for his dad's van, and I really want to get in contact with those guys because they said that it would be like 600 bucks or something. It's just outside Toronto. So I really, really want spray foam in here. I need to seal this entire rig, like top to bottom. Well, okay, not bottom because the floor's already done, but I need to do the entire like roof, sides, around the front window, everything with spray foam and try to keep it as warm as possible in the winter. So I'm gonna do that, and then what I'm thinking is to put pallet wood, because I worked with a lot of pallet wood in Hawaii. Built an entire deck off our pallet hut with pallet wood. So that was an exciting moment, and I actually don't mind doing it. So I would love to do pallet wood across the top instead of normal paneling that you see everybody else do. I just feel like pallet wood has a lot more character and different textures and different colors and stuff. It would be really nice. So I want to do that to the top. I'm not really sure about the sides yet, what I'm going to do. I might just see what colors I get and stuff for the ceiling and then kind of go with something that matches. But I'll probably just do normal paneling down this side. The floor is brown, so I kind of have to go with that a little bit. Yeah, I think that's it. They set up some sweet speakers as well, so I actually have really good tunes going in here. As empty and half done this all looks, at least I have my tune, so that's nice. And they actually left me the Jenny, so I can sell the Jenny for a couple $100, so that's kind of nice as well. So the original seats are still in the front, and I want to keep them. I actually really like it, and it's very, very comfortable to be driving, basically in a lazy boy. And they are both swivel seats, but it won't matter because there's going to be a wall behind them anyways, but it is nice that I have that option as well. The front has to get redone. He said that when they pulled back the original fabric that was secured to the top, they found a lot of mold, so they had to throw it out. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to carry the wood to the top and then outline the front and the top with wood. And yeah. Well, thank you guys for checking out my tour of my unfinished van. I hope you guys stick around for the renovation. It's not going to happen right away, I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to start gutting anything until the fall. I want to sleep in it a couple times and see where the leaks are, because I know that there are leaks in this. And I need to seal all that stuff first and figure out the leaks. Fly on my head. But I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and subscribe below. And if you want to see more van videos, follow around with the journey. And I will talk to you guys later. See ya.